What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream, to another video. I appreciate you guys for anybody that's here um, to just talk about cryptocurrency, to talk about investing, because that's something that I feel very, very passionate about. That's why I continue to make these videos, continue to live stream because I do love talking about cryptocurrency, um, investing, and just being able to make money work for you. I tell people this all the time, right? That I love making money work for me. It's something that gives me freedom, and I hope that you guys can be able to provide yourself with that freedom in the long term, or have already been able to provide yourself with that freedom now. So yeah, let me just figure some stuff out really quick. All right, I think we're good. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell for more of these videos. You can also check out my link for Patreon or Twitter down below. Feel free to do that. Also, if you want to check out my link for BTCC, I have it linked to the chat. Where you can trade up to a 500x leverage. And honestly, is a very good platform that I've been using for quite some time. You can get a 10% deposit bonus when you use my link. You'll get extra bonuses up to $10,055 and 40% lower trading fees. So like I said, you can also trade up to a 500x leverage if you want to. I don't ever recommend it, but if you find an opportunity to do so, then do that. But make sure you protect yourself and make sure you understand the risks that you're taking as you do leverage trade that much. So yeah, feel free to check it out. Link is at the top of the description as well as the top of the chat. Let me just put a poll here. Did you like button? Oh, spelled that wrong. All right. All right, so how's everybody doing this morning? I know it is early in the morning. For me, at least, it's 5:20 a.m. Good morning. How much can it reach? How much can XRP reach, or how much can cryptocurrency in general reach? Right. I think XRP has the capability of reaching higher highs than a lot of people have expected, right? And we talk about all of these different levels that it can hit, all the different predictions that we've seen, getting up to $25, $50, $100, $1,000, $10,000, right? All of these different predictions, it depends on different things to happen. Now, for my timeline and and my exit plan, I really have majority of my XRP coming off the table around $100. The rest of it will be sitting there for the longer term to see, 200, 300, 500, $1,000 potentially. Now, it's not saying it's 100% going to get there because remember, it depends on so many things to happen, and to happen in kind of the strongest way you can expect cryptocurrency to be adopted. So, I like to prepare for the worst as well as prepare for the absolute best to know that I'm going to have something there in the end. So, in my opinion, I'm really only looking for the level of 100 to even $200, right? Probably somewhere within that range as a max for what I'm holding, or majority of what I'm holding. But there's other people out there that are also looking for something even more than that, and it could be. It's just I don't necessarily need that for what I'm trying to get out of it. Does that make sense? Now, when it comes to use in the end, I'm hoping by the time this does become, mainstream, like usable cryptocurrency across the board, not only by governments but by people. We're talking about transactions from me to you, or from me to a business, or from business to a business, or just seeing the standard inflow of money into a bank, whatever, right? When it gets to that point, I don't expect to have a massive amount of XRP, but I do expect to use the XRP that I have. Does that make sense? So again, for me, 100 to 200 is that max level for just my exit strategy. It doesn't mean that it's the max total. It just means as I have my exit strategy, I'm selling as we go up. And most people will ask me, they'll say, why don't you hold until $100 if you believe that it's going to get to $100? Well, the point is that throughout time, you want to take profit, right? You want to accept some profit and be happy with what you have, because any opportunity can present itself. So while I see, let's say XRP gets to a $20 price point and everybody's saying the same thing, oh, you should go to you should wait till it gets to $100. Well, if I wait till it gets to $100, it might be over potentially multiple bull runs, right? So we go through a bull run, we go through a bear market, we go through a bull run again, right? And if we see that, I now have no money to invest into the bear market because I didn't sell any of my XRP there, or I didn't sell any of my positions there. You have to have an exit plan to accommodate all of your future buys, as well as being able to just be happy with what you have. When you have $1 million, $2 million, or $5 million, or whatever of a balance in one position, you want to take a little bit of profit and throw that somewhere and be able to use that money, as you have it. So that's just what I look to do. I saw a post last night that made me want to live stream. I think it was at like 10 o'clock. For some reason, it came through and somebody was just like, XRP's running. And I was like, oh, really? Am I going to have to jump on a live stream right now? I went over there. XRP was not running. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know where and why this post on X was a thing, because it got me hyped for no reason. But yeah. I'm glad it didn't, because I didn't get enough sleep the night before anyways. What's up? XRP, yo, we're here. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Been up all night. Why? Why have you been up all night? Tiger Meg, 816. It's getting closer. Second all-nighter in a row. Is it for work or? Hello from Germany, still holding, bought up to $1 in 2021, no exit before $100. Okay, so you have no exit before $100. I mean, it's always great to have a plan, right? That's what matters. I'm not saying that it's like a dumb thing to hold until your goal. Goals are great. I just always think that you should establish an exit plan to where you protect your initial investment plus some profit, because these levels might happen over a longer period of time. It could happen over a shorter period of time as well, but it might happen over a longer period of time, which means that you're missing out on a lot by not being able to take some of that profit and put it in at lower levels or buy some new opportunity that's out there. Now tell us some critical levels of Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, XRP. You see it as of now. Where do you see that it need to pass um, so to say, right? Where do I need Bitcoin to pass? Where do I need Ethereum to pass? Honestly, I'm not necessarily focused on the price levels of Bitcoin and let me go back here. Price levels of Bitcoin and many other like cryptocurrencies in general, obviously XRP and the ones that I do hold, but more what I'm focused on is this number. I'm focused on this 63.5%, right? This Bitcoin dominance is insane. We're seeing a lot more dominance in Bitcoin than we were seeing in the bear market or the beginning of the bull market, right? When Bitcoin was running and seemingly being worth more and more in the end. I'm more focused on this because right now we're not necessarily in the bear market. We're not at all because Bitcoin has run a substantial amount. But everything else in the market, right? Ethereum, I would say Solana, but Solana is run, but it's not up to its high. Solana, you can say, Litecoin and AVAX and Ton and many other altcoins, right, have not seen the level of success that Bitcoin has seen. And Bitcoin continues to outperform everything else that's in the market. Now, granted, there are some things that have run more than, I wouldn't say more than what Bitcoin has run, because it's gone from like a $16,000 price up to 100 plus 100 plus thousand. But there are some things that have, outperformed what Bitcoin was doing overall. It's just there's a lot in these altcoins that have not performed to the level that we expect in a bull market, right? So we're not here yet. Obviously, with things like Ethereum down to $1,600, that is nowhere near the high. So right now, I still see tons of opportunity that's out there because it's showing so much, or so many potential coins that can give me potentially large gains, right? Whether you're talking about some big names like XRP, some big names like BNB, which I still believe can get to 1,000 plus dollars. You see Solana that can get to 1,000 plus dollars. You can see things like Cardano that's sitting at a $22 billion market cap, which should be, 5 times where it is right now, just at the kind of, edge of breaking out for the altcoin season, right? Avalanche the same way at an $8 billion market cap, Shiba Inu and many others. So it's not necessarily for me significant levels per position. It's more significant levels for the dominance. I want to see that start to kind of break out and see the reversal of that, where altcoins are now taking over a little bit more. And I think that comes with time, and not necessarily just this month, but throughout the rest of this year, we can see altcoins that start to take over. So that's what I'm more interested in. But if we want to talk about significant levels, obviously I want to see Bitcoin get past its all-time high. But I want to see more of Ethereum get past its all-time high, get past that $5,000 mark. XRP break past the level of $5. BNB break some of these high levels of $900 to $1,000 or so. Solana $250, $300, right? I want to see those levels. All-time highs are very, very important. When we talk about the short term, I'm not necessarily focused on, Solana needs to break above $140 in order to see a potential breakout. Cryptocurrency is interesting because it doesn't follow the same rules as you would see in the stock market, and I've grown to notice that. So for me to go, this pattern here leads to bullish momentum. Yeah, true, right? But you have a 50-50 chance of being right. It's not necessarily saying that you know what you're talking about just because you see a pattern and it does break out typically when you review stocks. So I don't necessarily follow patterns because a lot of times those patterns fall through. But I do watch them. I just am looking for the likelihood of it breaking out, right? And the chance of it doing that. So again, more focused on this number, 63.5% dominance, and I want to see that decrease. But yeah, if we wanted to go through, I'll go through the comment section or the chat in a little bit. Guys, make sure you hit that like button. We have 120 people here and 47 likes. I would like to get to 120 likes. That would be amazing. But again, the current cryptocurrency market is at a $2.77 trillion market cap, with Bitcoin leading the way with $1.7 trillion of a market cap by itself, meaning that the rest of the market, you're seeing about $1.02 trillion market cap, let's say. Yeah, 1.02 trillion. It's still a lot across the board, but it could be so much more, right? With Bitcoin's dominance at 63.46%. Bitcoin is seeing a 1% increase on the day, $88,000 per coin. Ethereum again is a great price right now, $1,625. About $200 billion market cap. XRP sitting at a $122 billion market cap with $2.4 billion worth of volume. BNB is at $605. You see Solana is at $139. I still feel like that's a good opportunity, at least even to get back to the highs that we saw with Solana. But another opportunity, Cardano sitting at 63 cents, Chainlink at $13, Avalanche at $20. I feel like it's definitely a steal. I still have my assets over on Coinbase, and obviously I have Avalanche around the $20 mark. So seeing it here, it's still a huge opportunity. XLM is also one, $7.6 billion, 24-cent price. Let's look at some things that are kind of moving in more of the positive direction today. Fartcoin is up by about 18% on the day, $1.06, a $1 billion market cap. You have, POL, POL, right? Polygon, that is up 10%, 10.5%. And in the last hour, it's slightly down, but you're at a 21 cent, almost 22-cent price. Caspa, I feel like Caspa has seen so much green. Every time I go to search what's up the most, Caspa seems to be in like the top 3, but it's never really, from what I've seen, it's never, I can't say never. It doesn't seem like it's breaking the 8-cent price. Because every time I'm like, oh, it's up by 8%. And it's up by 8% the next day. It's up by 8% the next day, but it's still sitting around the 8-cent price. Yes, it's approaching 9 cents, but it's, after I look at multiple positive days, you expect to see it up a lot more. But that's just because I'm looking at it once or twice a day. So, anyways, Stacks is up by 7%. You see Pepe, that's also up by 3.5%. Radium, official Trump, that's up by 3%. Let's look at some things that are falling the most in the top 100. Internet Computers down by 6%. Aptos is down by 6%. Filecoin by 6% as well. Jasmine Coin also being down by about 5% here at 1.5 cents. Cosmos at 4 cents, down by 4.3% as well. So again, many opportunities. I have all of my crypto, but I just am done buying newer cryptocurrency. Besides, somebody pointed out that they said, oh, I thought you were done buying cryptocurrency. Why are you still buying CRO? CRO is just $10 per day, and that's always going to be the case. But I'm done buying like boatloads of CRO or boatloads of Jasmine Coin or even though AVAX is below my cost basis, like I'm done spending money on cryptocurrency at this moment, and I'm looking to see the benefits and everything follow through with altcoin season, right? And my exit plans, because as I buy, my exit plan strategy for everything changes, right? And I don't really want it to change that much. I want it to stay the same. Anyways, let's get into what people are saying in the chat. So, I have a question. Should I sell all of them at bull run and buy again in the bear market, or should I sell like half or 3/4, something like that, and hold the rest for long term? The problem with that is that you're timing the market, and I think timing the market is very, very difficult when you talk about any position. So what I always recommend to people is establish a exit strategy based on price, and then you'll be happy when the bull market is over and you see the bear market, because the amount of people that are not going to be able to predict what the actual high point is, it may seem like it could be easy. It's like, oh, at the peak of the market, I'm going to sell everything. Okay, when's the peak? You don't even know when the bottom was. When's the peak, right? That's the issue, is that it's very difficult to predict the absolute bottom, the absolute top. So if you decide to sell everything at these levels, you may think that that's the top, and you're like, all right, XRP gets to, let's say, $20 per coin, and you're like, that's the peak of where everything's going, right? Some people may say that's the peak and they sell everything, and then the peak ends up being a little bit higher. Now, granted, that's a better scenario than the opposite, which would be you still think the peak is at $100 and $25 may be the peak for this bull run, right? Now you're waiting it out because you see a decrease from 25 to 20 and you're waiting it out. You're like, oh, well, you know what? If anything, I'll wait till it gets back to 25. Well, 25 was the peak and it's not going to get back there. So then it continues to drop, continues to drop, continues to drop. And now you're left, still wondering if this is the bear market. And now you get back down to either break even or whatever, and you lose out the opportunity to sell anything. So you should always establish an exit plan to give yourself the freedom to know this for sure will not be the peak, but I for sure will take some profit to give myself a better investing strategy in the next bear market, or to give myself more money to put towards my dividend portfolio, or to do whatever you wanted with that money, right? So I don't ever recommend that someone goes, oh, at the peak, I'm going to sell 100 or 100% of my stuff, 100% of my coins. You make it sound easy, but I'm going to tell you it's very, very difficult. The hardest part of investing is not buying it, it's selling it, right? I've dealt with it plenty of times where if I can't easily predict where the peak actually is, what makes you think that anybody else could also or could be able to predict where the peak is going to be? Not saying like I'm better than anybody else. It's just it's very difficult to do so. I can tell you I've only accurately predicted one peak. And we're not talking about of a full bull market. We're just talking about of a position itself. Where I've only predicted like one or two, actually two, lows of positions, and I've invested into hundreds of coins. So yeah, it's much more difficult than people think. But I understand the mindset is to sell high and then buy low, but sell as you're going up and then buy as you're going down. Does that make sense? Jay said $50 to $100 with only the 20 ETFs with adoption around $1,000. So I think ETFs are great. The single ETFs are great. I like more all-encompassing ETFs that can kind of put crypto into the next level, where people can say, I want to invest into crypto, but I don't want to buy a specific coin. I don't want to invest into or with a specific coin, even if it's by third party, basically. I want to invest in the broader market. And when we get to that point, crypto is going to absolutely explode. But right now, we're not there. And who's to say that that's going to happen during this altcoin season? I expect it to. But we'll have to see. I don't understand how that is not the main topic right now. How that is not the thing that makes crypto absolutely explode, or by thought, right? Because nobody else is mentioning this. Nobody else is saying, once we get an all-encompassing ETF, crypto is going to absolutely skyrocket. Because why are they not saying this? Because they want to focus on the individual ETFs first, individual positions, and have that thought that Bitcoin is still going to be at the top of that list. Ethereum is still going to be at the top of that list, right? All of those things. But if you truly look at it and you look at how stable the stock market is, you look at how stable, many markets that we're investing into, our dividend portfolios, even though my dividend portfolio doesn't look fantastic over the last month or so, it's because of these all-encompassing ETFs. It's because of these ETFs that include everything from the S&P 500. It's because of these ETFs that include, various companies that you can all lump together and see that consistent growth. Once you can see that, I'm telling you, like, the sky's the limit. And I'm going to invest into all of those ETFs, because investing into the broader market will be a way bigger deal than anything that has been done since, right? It doesn't matter what XRP has done. It doesn't matter what Bitcoin has done. It doesn't matter what Ethereum has done by itself. These all-encompassing ETFs will be that thing that takes crypto to the absolute next level. And I mean next level, next level. We're talking about not jumps from just a trillion to 2 trillion or a trillion to 3 trillion. We're talking about 10 to 20 trillion, like those type of jumps, because people are now seeing the ability to invest into the market. I don't have to worry about this position not being worth as much or not doing the best things possible every second of every day. I can worry about the entire market and go, okay, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of these things are doing big things, but I'm invested into each one of them, a little piece into each one of them, whether it's 60% Bitcoin, 30% Bitcoin, whatever, and 10% Ethereum. You're just investing more into the broader market than that single position. And that's where all the money will be. Trust me. I don't know why more people aren't talking about that. And I think, we should talk about it more. Tired. Okay. So I was just typing something out. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos, more of these live streams. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below for Patreon, for Twitter. Also, my link in the chat for BTCC if you guys want to get started with leverage trading or even trading outright or even demo trading if you guys are just getting into cryptocurrency. Excited about the bull run. I guess. Wait, excited about bull run. I guess nerves. My body is nuts. I hear you. I'm okay. So that was what you meant when you were pulling all nighters. I mean, I tend to pull all nighters when we see cryptocurrency absolutely explode. Like when we saw, Bitcoin running so far, when we saw XRP running a lot. Obviously that wasn't really the best time for me, so I couldn't live stream as much as other people were live streaming. I'm talking about like they were putting out crazy live streams, ones that were like multiple hours long, and focusing on where XRP is right now and the explosion of XRP, right? Explosion of XRP, because every single day it was either up a massive amount or seeing it down a decent amount and then exploding off of that. I wish I would have had more time to do that. But hopefully, as we see altcoin season and everything run, and we have so much opportunity that's out there, hopefully I have a lot more time to live stream. If it's during the summer, I'm gonna have both children home with me, or no, I'll have Hayden won't be home with me, but I'll have Harper home with me. So it's going to be very difficult. I will try to live stream as much as possible. She has to understand that, I'm working and stuff. So, but I also want to spend a lot of time with her, work on basketball, which I'm thinking about converting or doing another channel with just the progression of basketball for them and recording that. That would be cool because from Harper's beginning to where she is now, absolutely phenomenal. And we're talking about, less than 1 year. It's been, 6, 7 months. And most of those months we're looking at, well, not most of those months, winter, it was very difficult to do anything basketball related because obviously snow and being cold and whatnot. But yeah, her progression has been amazing, and I can't wait to see Hayden's progression. It's going to be great because she's already dribbling the ball a little bit better than the way that she started. So it should be fun. I think I'm going to do something like that to where record the progression. Has the bull run started yet? I mean, bull run already started. Bull run started in 2022, at the end of 2022 for Bitcoin to run. It's just altcoin season hasn't started, right? And that's what we're all hoping for, because majority of the people that are here, I would take a guess that majority of the 132 people that are here don't have either much Bitcoin or any Bitcoin at all, right? For a person that's heavily invested in the cryptocurrency like me, to not have any Bitcoin would be crazy to some people, right? And honestly, I just didn't have the right amounts at the right times, right? I wish I had $16,000 or $17,000 at the low for Bitcoin, because I saw it and I wanted to buy it. I just didn't have the money to do so. And then as Bitcoin started to make its move from 2022 to, where we are now, and even the highs that it was at, I started to have a little bit of money, but I started to put it elsewhere. And I'm glad I did, because, Jasmine Coin ran quite a bit. XRP ran quite a bit. I haven't really seen much from anything else that I'm holding, because altcoin season hasn't happened, but in due time. So bull market's here, altcoin season is not. XRP exit 25,000 at $10, 25,000 at $20, 25,000 at $50, balance of 80,000, keep till 3 digits. That's phenomenal, right? And obviously, if you get impatient at those times, and things are at 2 digits for a while, or whatever, and you're like, what, I'm happy with what I have here, and I want to take all of it at a level right before 3 digits. Maybe it's $90 or $99 or something close like that. And you could do that as well, because either way, you're up a heavy amount from where you started. You know what I mean? So it's good to take profit. It's good to take your initial investment. And hopefully, as you have that time there, this is without factoring in, reinvestments, right? Because if you see it, let's say the bear market is tough, and XRP drops down heavily before your even first investment, right? Your first exit strategy price. Well, now you can have reinvestments into either that position or something else. So that's good. I only have 20K XRP. I don't want to miss anything. Maybe XRP goes to $100 and never falls back below, because utility kicks in. It can happen. Yes. But the issue is that, are you looking to utilize it, or are you looking to have gains from it? Because there's a potential chance that could happen, right? It could go to $100 and never fall back down, but there's also that's still that chance of it not even getting to $100, because not getting to $100 within your time frame, or whatever you see it, and then you end up seeing it slowly drop back down, and your mindset throughout that whole time is like, I should have sold at $100, or and then as it continues, it's like $80. Well, I probably should have gotten out of it. $70. Well, it'll find a way to get back to $100, right? This is your mindset going through it. $60. I'm sure it'll make its move back up. $50. Well, it's come this far. I should probably wait for a little bit of a bounce. $40. And you're just continuing to second guess, deciding to take money from that so that you can have a solid gain before the bear market truly happens, And so it's all based on your strategy. I think you should have something, and missing out on potential gains, it's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. It happens to everybody. But you should still have some sort of joy and excitement, acceptance of what you did gain in profit, right? Because if you are always like that, you're going to always look at the negatives, and you're going to always look at a $100,000 gain as a negative because you missed out on the opportunity to gain 120,000 or 200,000. Yeah, of course, you're going to have those opportunities, you're going to have those missed opportunities, but you want to make sure that you are profiting in the end, because you are doing better than majority of people, because majority of people will wait and then they will get out of being in profit and then they have to wait longer. And since this investing game is more long term, right, for everything, whether you're talking about adoption in crypto or you're even talking about ETFs or the stock market, it's all about that long-term outcome. If you wait 5-10 years, you have that long consistent outcome and that gain from it. But for the short term, we're expecting all of these larger gains, but we want to be able to take that kind of long-term amount of profit, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. But it's very difficult to do that, right? To have a short-term mindset with a long-term gain outcome. I'll put outcome. But 20K is not a little bit. I know you said you only have 20K. There are people out there with only 1,000 or 2,000 or 100, right? And even though I still feel like that's not a little bit compared to where we'll get to, it's just a small amount compared to like mine or even some other people that are in the chat here. But it doesn't mean that you don't have a large opportunity on your hands. You still have the same percentage gains. It's just you're not going to be able to make as much money as some of the other people. And maybe you might make more. It depends on what your exit strategy is. Right? If you have a more aggressive exit strategy to where instead of that $5 taking any profit, you're taking profit at $10, you're taking profit at $20, you can make more than the next person. Right? I fully expect a lot of other people to make more money than what I'm making, because again, if I take 25% of my overall portfolio at $5 and you take 25% of your portfolio at $5, right, or at $10, you can potentially make more money than what I've made off of my first sell. But it doesn't matter to me. What does matter is the fact that I'm collecting my initial investment first. To know that I now have, let's say if I take 50,000 XRP at a level of $5, we're talking about taking a lot of money. We're talking about taking $250,000 to now be able to invest a lot of that back into it in the bear market. Is phenomenal, right? That's what my hope is. That's what my belief is, but I never know what I'm going to be able to do with that when that time comes, because I don't know what the bear market is going to look like this time around. Of course, said people who invest in XRP are retarded. Any thoughts? I mean, that's just his mindset. I don't care what he has to say. It doesn't matter. But everybody is entitled to their own opinion, right? So it doesn't matter if he says it or the next person. It doesn't make him more of an expert to say that investing into this makes you dumb or investing into this is a dumb idea, because it's all opinionated, right? It's all opinion based. So I'm not gonna hate on anybody for saying that whoever invests in XRP, the R word, right? But yeah, I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I don't like investing into Bitcoin, and there's many other people that will invest into Bitcoin. But yeah, everybody can have their own opinion. I don't care. Tell Mr. Coors short. Wait. Well, tell Mr. Coors the short yellow bus is real comfy right now. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, I like XRP. I like many other positions. Obviously, the positions that I hold, Jasmine Coin. I still have strong feelings for Kronos. I understand of what they did, and it's still a problem to me, because I hate when you say, you burn something and it's gone forever, but then it's not. you still have the ability to bring it back. And that's not something that sits well with me, because now I don't believe in any burns that come from CRO. No matter what the burn situation is, I feel like it can always come back. And I don't understand the process of that. I sort of understand it from a business move. It makes sense because they're getting so much funding basically to do all the things that they want to do. Rather than use the money that they have now, they can now just kind of create this funding to dilute what the overall price is over time. But not necessarily to say, oh, I'm diluting the price, but more or less, I'm just trying to be able to have capital to build the things they want to build without paying any money that we've already obtained from all these different things, right? If you're getting $2 billion or something, you can now use that $2 billion for advertising. You can use it for building your credit cards out, or building a new reward structure or something. And that could be great for business. But what's also bad for business is taking your diehards, your people that love CRO and everything that was for it in crypto.com, and making them believe that this is not a long-term position anymore. Like me, I don't really think it's a major long-term position. It's more of, get active in the short term, and then as the bear market comes along, we should see it kind of fall off quite a bit because of all of the addition of those coins there. So, anyways, you should always trust a guy on YouTube who told you to trust me. I mean, that's funny, because I can feel and hear the sarcasm. Hi, thank you for the channel. I have a question. What's your prediction in Jasmy, ON or YX, Shift Coin or Swift Coin, Turbo in the bull run? That's what you're trying to say, not bull rain. Bull run. Do you think it can be at least more than 30 cents? So I haven't at least dove into it extensively for Turbo and am I saying Onyx? Am I saying that right? But Jasmy Coin and Swift Coin, obviously, I'm a big fan of Jasmy Coin. I believe we're going to see a lot higher of a price than where we stand here today at the 1.4 cent level. Let me actually go to my watch list just to look at that, because I know it's one of those positions that's dropping a good amount. So for Jasmy Coin, I'm a big fan of it. I have 1 million Jasmy Coin. I would love to have more. If it did come down to my cost basis, I would, find a way to get more. I don't want to spend any more money there, but again, it's a no-brainer because Jasmy Coin is going to be worth more than you think. But 1.4 cent price, I believe we're seeing, a 10x from where that is, right? $1 to $1.50, which would be a 10x from where we are, a little bit higher than a 10x. But yeah, that's my opinion on Jasmy Coin, as I see that grow to multiple billions of dollars worth of a market cap. Same thing goes for Swift Coin, right? I bought Swift Coin. I think I have 500,000, and I already have my initial investment from it. I decided to take my initial investment. I think it was 4,800, if I'm not mistaken. I took my initial investment plus profit, and I still have 500,000 coins in my possession. I think Swift Coin is going to be worth multiple billions of dollars, where it currently stands at 127 million, easily 10 times, 20 times where this stands right here today. So that's my opinion on these two positions, just because I hold them and I have more in-depth reviews into them. But yeah, that's my thoughts there. I haven't looked into the other two, and if I did right now, I'm not saying I would be wasting time, but I kind of want to get through some of these chats. I feel like a lot of my answers have been like long-winded. What's the best wallet for beginners? Like wallet for credit cards? You mean wallets for? I like MetaMask, right? I feel like MetaMask is kind of everywhere. As long as you protect all your information, you're good. Um, I would say one that's easy to use and easy to kind of um, move money to is a Coinbase wallet, because Coinbase to Coinbase wallet, very, very simple to use, and you don't have to worry about, kind of learning how to send things and communicate with different um, networks and all that stuff right from the start. You really only have to worry about, Coinbase to Coinbase wallet, what can be held, what can be utilized, and all that there, and then you can start transitioning and learning into that. So I recommend those two if you're talking about, a certain wallet to have, because they do communicate pretty much with everything that's there. But I like MetaMask, and then trying to learn MetaMask and trying to add or adding the different networks and making sure that you you know how to swap and you know how to convert and you know how to buy on there directly. So I like MetaMask. Um, I've had it. I think that was my first. Yeah, that was my first wallet, and then it went to Trust Wallet because I bought SafeMoon, which wasn't really the best decision, but it wasn't a lot of money anyways. It was like $100 or $200. Uh, at that time, I would say it was definitely a lot of money, um, because I wasn't spending a crazy amount on crypto, so it seemed like a lot compared to what I was investing into crypto as a whole. Does that make sense? Um, but yeah, now it wasn't a lot, but it still was a bad investment. Uh, uh, Liquidity has been drained out of Pump Fund and Solana chain, destroyed the altcoins. Just it just hypnotized. What? Just hot hypnotized by the gadget behind you? Ah, or you just got hypnotized by the gadget behind me. The this thing that just continues to move. Yeah, I really like that thing. Um, I've had so many people that tell me it's great to one hear your voice and how it has a like a calming tone, like a deeper calming tone to it. But then also just staring at the that device that's there, it does make you zone out, makes you feel calm. I find myself looking at it all the time. Like right now, I'm looking at it and I feel calm just staring at it. I think it's running out of battery though, because it has batteries that it takes. This is not the original swinging sticks that um, the actual perpetual motion device. This is the illusion of a perpetual motion device. Um, it's not based on like the weight or anything. It's actually based on a motor that's in there, a slight motor. Um, but if you wanted the real one, it's like hundreds of dollars, which I probably should get at this point. But this one's cheaper. It's like $90 on Amazon. So if you want something that's just going to continuously move, it does take a decent amount of batteries. I think it's like four or six. Yeah, it's four AA batteries, and it does last a very long time. I haven't changed out the batteries in like maybe 4 months, and it just continues to move. But it looks to be fine. I thought it was running out of batteries because it was only going back and forth rather than turning around, but it does still turn around, just like, oh, it just turned back. Go all the way around. There we go. Perfect. What's the point? David Schwartz saying XRP was created to be at least $10,000 or high value. Um, just on the basis of where a lot of people believe that it's going to go. Obviously, him too. What do you believe it's going to be used for? Because if it was created to have, let's say, um, a $5 value or a $1 value or whatever, um, you can't really associate it with like truly like being the world currency or being used as for cross border payments. And seeing how much money goes into that, the transactions, the movement, the ability to hold that, all of that stuff, all factors into what this ultimate price can be. And just thinking about this, like say if you wanted to use it as the flow of money, right? And the flow of the US dollar is $2 trillion that's there. If XRP needed to, it's more than 2 trillion, but let's just say it's 2 trillion. All right. And to make it easier, let's just say 1 trillion. Let's say the flow of money is $1 trillion. With 100 billion coins that's out there, for it to get to a $1 trillion valuation or market cap, to be associated with the circulation of US dollars, right? To kind of fight that, it would need to get to a $10 price point. And that's just from viewing the regular like circulation of that money. Now you also talk about the amount that's in reserve, not just the circulation of money, and that's literally double what you have there. So let's say the actual circulation is 2 trillion, maybe even closer to 3 trillion. We're talking about a $30 price point for the amount that's there, while also, $30 price point for the 3 trillion that is there, while also having that reserve to fight that. But you still only have 100 billion coins. So now you have to double that value because you're putting money aside, you're putting some aside for the eventual circulation of what you have there. So let's say 50 billion is going to be in circulation, not 100 billion. Now you factor in that, and you're now looking at a $60 price point that's there. But that's also not factoring in the people that are holding it as store of value, also not factoring the people that are using it every single day, and larger purchases that are needed across countries, right? Cross-border payments. There's so much that's factored into it. Banks that hold it, that use it as a reserve and hold it there for, people that are banking with them and utilizing XRP. It's just so much of the unknown that when you factor in all of these things, it's like it's made to be worth $10,000 per coin, because that's the only reason, that's the only way that you're going to be like, all right, I need to send this XRP over to this country or whatever for imports, exports, whatever, right? But you don't have enough XRP. So the value of XRP is now increased because it's more desirable, right? You need that, to be used in order to send that over there, right? You're looking at it at a higher and higher price as you continue to use it for more and more things, right? So $10,000 per coin, and you sending 10 XRP over there would be a $100,000 transaction. So saying that makes sense because of so much of the unknown. Now, it's not to say that everything's going to work out to happen that way, but if all goes perfect, that can be the case. Any thoughts on Zebek Networks potential for its first altcoin? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I have 525 XRP. It's my number one. I was banking on $100 XRP by the end of the year. Not going to happen, is it? $100 XRP by the end of the year. I'll probably say no. Not to kind of kill your dreams in any way. I would probably say no. I definitely would say no. Now, I would love to see it happen, and I'm not saying that it will 100% not happen. There's always a chance that these things can happen. You never know how fast something's going to progress. You never know how much it's going to grow out of nowhere and the things that they're going to do. So don't completely count it out. But I'm not banking on that by the end of the year. And even if it did, my exit plan still remains the same, meaning that majority of my XRP would be gone by that amount. So it really just all depends on the things that get done with crypto in these next 7 months or so. 6 months. I just got in the game late January. Okay, so you had some. I mean, you still have time. If you're talking about just XRP, obviously XRP ran a decent amount and hasn't really come back to those low levels since. It you have seen it drop down to a dollar, what, 70, dollar 60, but you haven't really had the same opportunity to buy at the 50 cent level or 40 cent or 30 cent level. And be able to obtain that much. But either way, having 525 XRP is still good. It's just not going to get you to the like hundreds or millions of dollars, at those levels. Now, it potentially could, depending on the length of time that you hold it and the different things that happen. Um, but it doesn't mean that I don't want anybody to just bank on it getting to a $10,000 price point or a $100,000 price point when you have so much opportunity to below that. You know what I mean? If it gets to $1,000 price point for you at 525, that's $525,000. But again, you're banking on these higher prices for your gains, when that should be the time where you should be more focused on the utility side of it and being able to utilize it. Because many people also say that about XRP is that if you believe that you're just going to use XRP in the end, why don't you just hold XRP forever and just continue to use XRP? Well, there's a portion of it that's set aside to be able to use XRP, and there's also a portion of it that's set aside to be able to hold it forever. But majority of it is to try and have gains for other opportunities that are out there, not just the XRP opportunity. Because let's say if you have money, you have a larger investment into, let's say, Amazon, right? You're a silent partner or something. You have 10% of it. 10% is great and all, and being able to gain that much from it, but you want to also be able to take your wealth that you've gained from Amazon in this long period of time to throw it into other things that are up and coming. Because if you have the opportunity to invest into Tesla, you have the opportunity to invest into Meta or Microsoft or whatever the tech company or AI company is, right? You have the opportunity to now throw a little bit more money into those to grow your money more. So that's kind of what I want. But I also just want to create major financial freedom where if all else fails and everything collapsed for me, like I can't upload YouTube videos, I don't get money from any other source, and everything collapsed for me, I want to be able to create a standard income that I will have every single year from investing and also dividends. And that's kind of my idea is if everything fails, I can always gain money from this dividend portfolio. I'm gaining $3,000, $6,000 a month from my dividend portfolio. And then also looking at maybe $200,000 per year in just gains from that portfolio. I could essentially have that plus the $6,000 per month in dividend payouts if need be. That's what I want to create, to know that I have true financial freedom to explore anything that I want to explore. If my children want to do something and I want to take a month off of work, I can do that, right? Without any fear of anything happening at all. I don't live above my means. I try to live below. We all try to live below our means, and that's kind of the idea, right? Eventually, have my house paid off. I don't want to pay it off early. I pay more, but also the percentage that I'm gaining in the stock market, not this year, but the percentage that I typically gain in the stock market exceeds the amount that I'm paying in interest. So it doesn't make sense to fully pay it off early. For this year, it would have made sense to throw all of that money in there and then find a way to take the extra money and now start at the bottom, because things have collapsed from what happened with tariffs and everything. But We'll see. I still try to pay a little bit more towards it. I think it's like an extra $300, which makes a difference in the interest. But I don't want to take all the money that I have there and then pay off the house completely, because I could, but I don't want to. Because from what I understand, I'm able to gain, let's say, 10% um, over over a year, and average of 10% over 5 years, and also gaining dividends during that time. It should exceed anything that I would have paid or am paying in interest. It should. This year hasn't been great. The last, so from when I started to 365 days after that, I was up, 12%, 11, 12%, which is fantastic, right? That's 365 days, you're gaining 10 plus percent. But then as the tariffs happened and all that stuff, things have come down. And now over the year plus this year, I'm actually down 1% over all that time. So doesn't feel good, but I am investing at the lows and waiting for it to average out and start to run. But that's over on my dividend or my stock market channel. So feel free to check out Matthew Perry 2, and you'll see all those videos that I've produced there. Don't know how we got to that point, but I tend to ramble on. I apologize. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, check out my link for BTCC down below. I did see an article recently that was interesting, but also is kind of, I guess, considered FUD by many people's standards, right? XRP named as an unregistered security in a new lawsuit. And I was like, all right, so what do we have here, right? It's not the SEC. The SEC is not coming for them because they dropped, everything. So it just doesn't make sense. So where is this coming from, right? So XRP is referred to as a crypto security in a new lawsuit against Coinbase. As noted by Justin Slaughter, the VP of Regulatory Affairs, the Ripple-linked XRP cryptocurrency was named as an unregistered security alongside a slew of other tokens in a recent lawsuit against cryptocurrency exchange giant Coinbase by Oregon Attorney General. So in a statement, Coinbase argued the Oregon AG was attempting to revive regulation by enforcement, accusing Rayfield of refusing to face reality and slamming the lawsuit as meritless. The classification of XRP as a crypto security comes despite the fact that the token already has regulatory clarity. That's something that didn't make sense to me at all. Like, you can claim all of these different things, you can say things in a lawsuit, you can say whatever you want, but XRP is the only cryptocurrency that has regulatory clarity, the only cryptocurrency that truly has legal clarity to say it is not a security, right? To only one to go through a lawsuit like that and survive, and actually have, that longer fight and then get to a point where it does survive in the end, right? It is it's not an unregistered security, right? It's not a security at all. So it's good to see that you have that there and you have that recognition that it is or already has regulatory clarity. It's worth noting that the federal judge concluded that XRP was not a security when sold to retail investors on public exchanges back in 2023. The SEC ended up dropping its appeal earlier this year following the departure of former chair Gary Gensler. So this lawsuit and this claim within the lawsuit is, like I said, meritless. It just doesn't make sense. But I did see that and I thought it was interesting. And I was like, they just need to shut all the way up. Another thing, let's see, Bitcoin's ETFs clocked the biggest inflow since January as crypto markets gain. Now, a daily inflow of U.S. Listed Bitcoin exchange traded funds reached $381 million on April 21st, their biggest single day inflow since January. So I guess a lot of people are seeing this as a huge opportunity, where Bitcoin, is sitting at lower levels, 84 to $88,000 compared to the $100,000. U.S. based Bitcoin exchange traded funds had their largest day in net inflows since late January, as crypto markets remain buoyant over the Easter weekend. Um, the 11 the 11 Bitcoin tracking funds saw a joint net inflow of $381.3 million on April 21st, largely carried by the a $116 million inflow into ARC21 shares Bitcoin ETF, or ARC-B. According to CoinGlass data, it is the largest inflow day. I feel like they keep saying the same thing. ETF since the funds had $588 million joint inflow on January 30th after Bitcoin hit a peak and was trading with a six-figure price tag. The ETFs have struggled to maintain inflows over the past few weeks amid U.S. President Donald Trump's trade war threats. CoinGecko shows Bitcoin fell below $100,000 in early February and hit a 2025 low of $74,773 on April 7th, days after Trump placed the tariffs on every country, which also caused the stock market to plummet. And we did obviously see that. Now, I think, right, it's great to see these ETFs and great to see these inflows. But you're going to see, again, more inflows when you see the all-encompassing ETFs. Right now, we have so many different ETFs out here, right? These are the current cryptocurrency ETF list that's out there. I think it's excluding one. So this is assets, let's see, as of April 20th, 2025. I don't know if XRP's ETF is here, but I do have that up. So, you have all these ETFs that have a total assets. This is in the multi-millions or just millions? We're talking about 48 million that we're going by. That can't be right. Is that 40? It's 48 billion, 48 million, 48 million. 16 million. Am I wrong by saying that? I feel like this is in the millions, so it would have to be billions. And you have $3 billion into ARC-B. Bitcoin, BTC, Grayscale, Bitcoin Mini Trust. So yeah, that would have to be, so 40 million. We're talking about 700 million. We're talking about 1.1 billion, 1.8 billion. We're talking about 16 billion or 48 billion. It has to be in the billions. But yeah, let me see if I go over here. If they do have XRP's ETF, I don't see it. So it's mainly Bitcoin and I think Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum. But I don't see, there's no next. So yeah, I have the long daily XRP ETF of 20 at $29.19 that's here. That would have been great to be a part of, at least to invest for the short term, even though these are long-term positions. But ETFs are going to be great. I just think that these single ETFs that we have are just kind of a stepping stone to what's to come, which will be ETFs that follow the broader market, the broader crypto market, which would be cool. But yeah. Anyways, if you guys want to start trading, feel free to check out my link for BTCC down below, where you can start trading cryptocurrency, start leverage trading cryptocurrency. Feel free to check out that link. It's in the chat. It's in the description. You can get a 10% deposit bonus when you use my link, and also you can get extra bonuses up to $10,055 per user. So again, feel free to check that out. Crypto predictions for the coming months. I don't really have short-term crypto predictions. In 2025, we're talking about the coming months in 2025, there's many different predictions that I have that I want to see, XRP hit certain levels, Jasmine coin hit certain levels, but it does flow over altcoin season, not just like this year. You know what I mean? So this year or altcoin season may flow over 2025 to 2026, which, again, altcoin season hasn't happened yet. I can't wait for it to happen. Um, but the bull market is still here. We're in the bull market. My portfolio went from 70K to 480K over Xmas. That's amazing. Yeah, and I saw the increase as well from what I invested into, and I'm glad that I put the extra money into XRP as it was even running to higher levels, which gave me a cost basis of 122 or $1.22. And it was great to see the levels of increase that we saw, for XRP and how high my portfolio got. At one point, I was a crypto millionaire, but then obviously as XRP has fallen, the way that things stand, I'm not there anymore. But I'm still very hopeful and very happy with the amount of gains that I've had. I just haven't sold anything. Well, I lied. I have sold stuff. It's just when things hit my exit strategy. So for Swiftcoin, I sold some of that because I was able to collect my initial investment and now sit on the profit and then see that grow as time goes on. I did the same thing for Terra Luna Classic and being able to collect about $4,800 there. So it seems like $4,800 is the level that I accept. But I wanted to take that profit from both of those. I wanted to take some profit from GME. I wanted to take some profit from, I think there might have been one other thing that I took profit from. But any of the major names, Jasmine Coin, I still have 1 million. XRP, I still have 200 plus thousand. We look at CRO, I still have my 400,000 that's there, and I haven't taken that profit from there yet. So, anyways, I have to get out of here because I have to get the kids up for school in a little bit. So, I wanted to be on here for about an hour and just talk to you guys about what's going on in the crypto market, talk about XRP. We will have more videos posted later today, but I just have to get the kids ready for school and then take them to school. And then I'll be back to record videos and put videos out. Make sure you guys check out my other channels, right? If you go on my channel here, you can look at all the channels I'm associated with. I do talk about the stock market a decent amount. I try to give you an update on my dividend portfolio every single month, even mid-month. And anytime I have a larger payout, I will update you on that. Or anytime that I decide to put money into my dividend portfolio, I make sure you guys know what I'm doing, what I'm putting money into, and all that stuff there. So feel free to check out my link for the Matthew Perry 2 channel. I also have a golf channel that I upload golf videos to from time to time. I have a credit card channel that I just got a new credit card in the mail that I'm excited about and I want to use, but I also want to unbox it. So I'm going to do an unboxing video for that. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. Feel free to check it out. But I have to get out of here. I would love to answer all questions, but all of my answers have been long-winded. And yeah, just felt great to get on here. I think this is the second live that I've done this week, which is just great to do. So anyways, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. And check out my link for BTCC, which is in the chat, in the description. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for joining me. See ya.